Happy Fragrant Friday, fraghead. Hey everybody, this is Ben here at That Cologne Guy, coming at you with a new review. Because if you saw last week's episode 143, it was a mystery. What I mean to say is fellow fragrance reviewer Danielson, ! Sent me a package in which there was a mystery frag. I had to open the package, spray it, talk about my first impressions, try to guess it, and then he provided an envelope on the side that had the actual name of it. So what I did was, during the episode itself, I talked about my impressions, the notes I thought I was picking up, I guessed the house, and then I took a gander at what I thought the actual fragrance would be. So I had so much fun in that episode, and what I did was, in the last 4 minutes approximately of that episode, I then in the bonus feature talked more about the notes, where it comes from, the house, etc. I read what Guerlain has to say about this and what Fragrantica has to say. So at this point, I'm going to send you quickly over to the last episode 143. And I'll put in the description box there, I will put a timestamp of when the bonus feature starts. But if you don't see it or don't remember, you can just go to that one and click it go to the 20-minute mark. That is close enough. So here is that episode. And you can go ahead and check out the final 4 minutes or so, and in which I talk about, again, the house, the notes, because after I opened the envelope, of course, I knew which one it was. I really enjoyed that episode. I hope to do it again. In fact, I also hope to send him and others a mystery frag and have them do the exact same thing. Make sure you check out his channel. He's a great guy, and this has been so much fun. So what I did was, this week I seared through the juice. So as you can see, I have kept a little bit for this week. I'm excited because I took a little break away from the single fragrance reviews. So you know what? This is much more of my traditional type episode. All right, so before I dive in and talk about the actual fragrance itself, let me quickly say, since last Friday, yet again, my friends, we have had an absolute plethora of new subscribers. I really appreciate that. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps out the channel a lot. And also, if you like the content, make sure you forward it on to your fellow frag heads. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And I say that because I often forget to tell you not to forget to hit the notification bell. That is especially for people who watch these episodes on their phone. Apparently there was a problem like a year ago where people were not setting the notification specifically for their phone. So make sure that you have the notifications turned on. So hit that bell, so as soon as my episode comes out on Friday, then you know when it's out and you will watch it. Okay, so with that out of the way, let's dive in. As I mentioned earlier, I'm going to bypass more discussion on the notes because you can find that in the bonus feature of the previous episode. Check out that. I've already pointed you to that. Let me talk about nomenclature. When it comes to nomenclature for this 2018 Amber Woody, let me just say, the title is L'Homme Idéal, the original. Right, the original is called that, which of course is in French for the ideal man. So this one is L'Homme Idéal l'Intense, which means, of course, the intense version, or in the intense ideal man. So does it live up to its name? Stay tuned and find out, because this is an EDP, and in theory, it's an intense version, right, of the ideal man, L'Homme Idéal. So I have not tried the original, so I can't speak to this. This is a flanker. But I will say quickly, one commenter in Fragrantica did say this. He said, this is basically L'Homme Idéal, minus the cherry note and with the Nutella note toned down. Again, I can't speak to that, but I wanted you to at least get some sort of feedback with regard to comparison to the original. This is a flanker, and this is the only one that I have smelled in this line. So in terms of nomenclature, It is close to the ideal man, I'll give him that. But as far as l'intense, there's not too much intensity here, folks. Not too much. So in terms of longevity, I have to say I got a solid 4 to 6. Closer to 6, I will give it that. But sillage and longevity were not what I wanted. Longevity was 4 to 6. You guys know that for me, the bar here is set incredibly high at TCG, which could only be an 8-hour work shift. I'm not a big fan of reapplying fragrances, especially if they're not cheap, if they're expensive. So this is, as an EDP, should get 8+, and it did not for me. So that was a minus. The sillage also was not coming in and out of rooms and things like that. This is not getting picked up. I would have liked a little bit more sillage as well. When it comes to projection, it projected about an arm's length away for the first 2 hours, and then it really started to settle down and get close to the skin. So if I had to include this in my top 10 list, I have a category. And one of the I have many categories, and one of the categories is best romantic night in. And the reason why I had that is because, look, if you're going to go out in a romantic night out, you're going to go out to eat, then you have live music, and and then you go to clubs, etc., etc. You want it to project a lot. On a romantic night in, where it's a candlelight dinner with soft music, slightly different vibe here, then you want, of course, something that's going to project for maybe 1 to 2 hours, but then when you move to the couch and for snuggle time, then it will start to really dissipate and stay close to your skin, thus inviting the other person closer to you, and you won't bomb out the room. This fragrance is definitely a candidate for that category. Absolutely. When I think of wearing this, it's not so much the workplace as it is to me. This would be a choice for me, something I would reach for a romantic night in. So longevity wasn't what I would have liked, nor was it sillage, but projection was okay for the first 2 hours, and then settled close to the skin. So again, you can turn just like in life, you can make any negative a positive. You see, I'm in a philosophical mood yet again. You can though, because this one would be absolutely fantastic for post dinner snuggle time for a romantic night in. So when it comes to versatility, I've already discussed that really. I don't know that I would wear this to the office, but you definitely could. You definitely could. I do see this more as an evening fragrance. That's just me. But I would wear this to the office. In fact, I did wear this to the office all week. So everyone was wearing masks, of course, but probably didn't smell it, but I still wore it. I would wear this to the office. I would prefer it more for the evening. I think this would be just an absolutely brilliant fragrance to put on, again, about let's say a 5 o'clock Friday for the romantic night in. You're going to cook some great food, bust out a couple bottles of wine, play some soft music, candlelight dinner, and on and on. And I think this would be a wonderful choice for that. So I see it as a Friday 5 o'clock, and that's just me though. All right, so when it comes to gender, I'm going to say this one is, for me personally, this one is just enough out of the unisex range over into full-on masculine. So if we have our lucky scent continuum here of feminine, unisex, and then masculine, there's, of course, a range for unisex, and I would put it just slightly outside of unisex into the full-on masculine. Again, though, this isn't uber or ultra masculine by any stretch of the imagination, but I do think it is going to be about a 75-25% split as far as those who are wearing it, meaning 75% men, 25% women of those who actually buy this, seek it out, have it as their signature fragrance, etc., etc. I do see this as a masculine fragrance, but a refined gentleman one at that. So when it comes to the age group, I see this as a 30 and up is what I'm going to go with. I went back and forth on this one. I just can't tell you that, when I think of 20s, I think college, internships, first job, first Audi. I just don't necessarily see that person reaching for this fragrance to head out to the clubs and stay out till 2 or 3 in the morning. As I said earlier, I see this as more of a romantic night in. So I'm going to go with 30 and up. I do not think this is a mature, certainly not an old lady, old man-ish fragrance by any stretch of the imagination. I really see it as one that's perfect for 30 and up. And as I've said before, this is only 3 years old, but I think it will be a classic. So when it comes to versatility, I've already discussed. I guess you can make an argument then, because I would wear it to the office and did. I think this is quite high on the versatility list. I don't know that I would bust this out for the summer. I see this as a fall winter fragrance, not so much spring, and I wouldn't reach for this in the summer. So I see this more as a fall winter, perhaps early spring, and I think for hot climates, I don't know that I would reach for this fragrance. So those are the seasons. Versatility, though, is, we're not going to say very high, but I will say relatively high. And I also, by the way, would add, for the categories I have in my top 10s, I can say this would be a perfect gift fragrance. I can't see anyone full on disliking this fragrance. It's masculine enough that those who are looking for a really rugged masculine fragrance will not be turned off by this. And it's got rose in it. You can make an argument that some might find it too old manish, old womanish. I flat out disagree with that. I really believe that this is something that practically anyone, especially 30 and up, would like for a gift. And so on a lot of my top 10s, when I have a gift category, I will say gift for teenager, gift for different groups, and I would choose this one for 30 and up. So not too many people are going to dislike that. Now the flip side of that is this is not a daring release from the house. This is not a bold release. It is certainly a great one, but and it smells fantastic. So this house Guerlain kind of reminds me of MFK, right? Maison Francis Coeur Dion, in the line of fragrances that perhaps aren't ultra bold and don't smell like a pancake in Connecticut or something, but that's not their point. Their point is just to smell wonderful, and so they pull that off. Bold release, no. Daring release, no. Does it smell sublime? Yes. So that's what you're going to get from Guerlain, and this release is no different. All right, so this week's fragrance was an easy rating to give. This was definitely a 4. Out of 5 sprays. So if you follow my channel, you know that I give out of 5 sprays a rating, and then I put that number on me, and I saved enough that should get me through this episode. So this is a 5 out of 5 first impressions, 5 out of 5 in terms of the overall smell, but in terms of living up to the name L'Intense, is it the ideal man? Yes. Is it the intense ideal man? No. There's really nothing intense about this fragrance. And when you have an EDP that gets around 4, possibly up to 6, even if the point is to have lower sillage and stay close to the skin, I still don't feel like the name, the fragrance fits the name. So I'm gonna dock them 1 spray for that. Let's go ahead and do that. And then I will give 4 out of 5 for L'Homme Idéal, L'Intense by Guerlain, EDP 2018 Amber Woody. I'm going to go 1 on each side of the neck, and because I've been putting my watch on first, so I'm going to put 1 on each side of the neck, 1 on this wrist, and then 1 on the back of the neck. Probably way more information than you would have liked to know. All right, here we go, guys. 4 out of 5 sprays for this fragrance. Boom. I have a little more. And I tell you what I'll do. So I've done this before. If Guerlain is listening and they want to up their game and they want to add more to this so that it finally gets 8 to 10 to 12 hours of longevity, I will reserve that spray for that moment, and I will spray you just because I love you. All right, there you have it, folks. Another review by the boards. I hope you really enjoyed that. I have enjoyed this fragrance over the last 2 weeks. Next week, I move on to another subscriber requested episode. We are well over the 600 subscriber mark, and I really thank you again for all of your support. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care, and always remember, fragrance marks the celebration of today. Take care, everybody. Okay, so in the bonus episode, I usually talk about something off topic, either during the actual episode and then I take it out and throw it in there, or even after recording. And this time it's after recording. I wanted to ask you guys a question. For those of you who watch me every week, let me know what your thoughts are when reviewers of any type, any subject matter, start to deviate from the original point of the channel. What I mean to say is, this is called That Cologne Guy. I was thinking about maybe on Wednesdays doing some watch reviews, and I wanted to know your thoughts. If you are annoyed by that when somebody does that, if they have a cologne channel and then they start showing pictures of or videos of their dog or watch reviews or whatever, or if you don't care at all. Some people feel like they should create a new channel, and then other people just could care less. So please let me know if you have any thoughts either way, especially for those, again, who watch me every week, because it means a lot to me and I want to provide the best product that I possibly can for you. Take care, everybody.